Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the channel. So I just got home from work and I saw that the new D&D playtest material has come out. And lo and behold, Cleric, my favorite class, was the topic. So I'm going to try to get this edited tonight. It'll come out tomorrow morning, Friday, December 2nd. And hopefully we'll be right on the pulse, new stuff. So I'm not going to discuss the spells that are listed here. I'm just going to go over the subclass as well as the changes to the class features. As you can see here now, on the screen, we have the chart that shows your progression. It looks like, spell progression is about the same. I don't, just glancing at it, notice any big differences. Weird that Holy Order and subclass are two different things now. I guess we'll see what they mean by that when we scroll down. I've heard that they're going to implement a first feat. That was from the video they put out as well with this UA. So it's not listed on here. But for those of you who haven't been following, it looks like a first level feat may be included as part of character creation. So you'll have that as well. So there's Holy Order twice. Interesting. Okay, well, let's scroll down and try to figure out what some of these things mean. D8 health looks like everything is about the same there. Saving throws look about the same. Armor training's light, medium, shield. Yep, looks like everything's pretty standard. Starting equipment, I don't remember how starting equipment works well enough to give a good basis on that. Channel Divinity. Now, I think Channel Divinity was a second level ability. Yes, Channel Divinity was a second level ability, and now it is a first level ability, so that's nice. And they've changed it, appears to be based on your proficiency bonus per long rest instead of it being 1 or 2 uses per short rest. Okay. The base uses for a Divine Spark, which looks like a single target heal. That scales a d8 with your proficiency bonus. I think that's fine. Oh, or you can use it for radiant damage. Interesting. Okay, I would have thought it was just a heal, but it looks like you can do a con save for radiant damage also, which could be good if you're, I guess, against something that's weak against radiant. But most things that are weak against radiant are undead, and you have turn undead, which I think would probably be a better ability. But the heal, having a built-in heal that doesn't use the spell slot that you can check out, sounds great. I'm assuming death saves will be the kind of the same way in this edition. I don't know that they might change how death mechanics work, but basically Divine Spark, and the way I would use it would be D8 heal, depending on my proficiency bonus, range 30 feet, fantastic. Could be used to get people up. I see that as a huge upgrade to Channel of Divinity base, and I really like that. Turn Undead, it looks like instead of fear, it's dazed. I believe dazed is defined in this document, so let me go ahead and control F that and see if I can give you guys what dazed means in this edition. So while dazed, limited activity is what you have. So you can move or take one action on your turn, not both. You also can't take a bonus action or a reaction. So yeah, that's rather debilitating, and that is pretty good. Being able to do that instead of frightened sounds great. And just like turn undead, when you hit them again, it looks like it negates the effect, or if you become incapacitated, which is fine. You use it. There's like multiple enemies, and you can focus fire, take one down at a time, and then you're good to go. Spellcasting, I'm not gonna go over this. I imagine spellcasting is pretty similar to everything else. All right, let's look at Holy Order. It looks like Holy Order is more akin to maybe a fighting style in this new edition. Protector will give you martial weapons and heavy armor. Scholar will give you more skills, and you get to add your wisdom modifier, kind of giving you more of a bardy kind of thing where you can become more of a skill monkey. Thaumaturgy gives you an additional cantrip, and you get to regain a use of Channel Divinity on a short rest. I think that's a good middle ground. So if you can focus more on your spells, you can focus more on your skills, or you can be a little bit more defensive. I think that's pretty well balanced. I really like the fact that they added the additional Channel Divinity charge with the short rest. I thought short rest really wouldn't be a thing in this edition, so it's interesting to see that they kept them with the move to most things being long rest per proficiency bonus. I was kind of shocked to see that they kept that. All right, subclass. Weird that you don't get your subclass until 3rd level. We'll do that at the end. The subclass that is listed here is life, and we'll talk about that after we talk about everything else. Feats are more common now, and they have much more variety. I'm not going to touch on feats in this video, but if people would like me to touch on feats in the future, just put something down in the comment below, letting me know, and I'll go through everything that's available currently for feats. Smite Undead is just an improvement to Turn Undead. It looks like you get to add some additional radiant damage like Divine Spark when they fail the saving throw, so just making it a little bit better. Plus his strikes, I like that they made it where it's when you cast a cantrip or weapon. I do notice they keep calling cantrips 0 level spells. I think the word cantrip probably is going to mean something else in this edition or maybe be removed in its entirety. But once a turn, get to add 1d8 radiant damage. Sounds good. It doesn't scale like a lot of the other ones used to scale, but hey, maybe the 0 level spells will scale a little bit better, so you don't have to worry about that as much. Ninth level, yep, you get a second Holy Order. I think that's great. Okay, Divine Intervention. Now, this is one of my favorite abilities in the cleric options. Now, in Pathfinder, the way it worked was you rolled a D100, and if you rolled under your level, you would it would activate, and you would get to get Divine Intervention. And you could do it at level 1, right? Which is incredibly unlikely you could do it at level 1, but it was always an option. And it looks like it's much the same here, except it's only at 11 level now, and you can only do it once a day. And if you succeed and there actually is Divine Intervention, you have to wait 2d6 days, and then you can try it again. Overall, I really like that ability. I think it's kind of lame that they make it 11th level and they don't just make it first level or like it used to be. But I get why. If there's only a 1% chance that you'll get it, it's very slim, and probably anything before 10th level, you aren't really going to have any sort of good chance of getting it. But it's such a random ability. I'm always for just giving it to players as early as possible because when it does pop off, it can be really fun and interesting. Then it's just feat, subclass, feat, greater divine intervention, which is you automatically succeed. And after using it, you can use it again in 2d4 age. So they reduce the time requirement and they make it automatic at 18th level. And your capstone is an epic boom. So you don't get your subclass until 3rd level now, which means your domain spells don't start triggering until 2nd level spells, which is a bit unfortunate. As, 1st level having more spells is always great, but I think this is fine. I think it's to put it more in line with how all the other classes work, which is fine. I don't think anything bad about that. Disciple of Life is very similar. It just adds some additional healing per spell level. Preserve Life, the fancy channel divinity game pushed to 6th level, I think is a bit lame, but I can see how they're trying to make it where everyone gets a subclass ability at 3, 6, 10, and 14. I would have liked the channel divinity thing to just be something you got at 3rd level, and then 6th level it'd be something maybe to improve some other aspect of the character, but it's fine. Preserve Life is still a really strong option. It looks like you still get to split it up as you want. 5 times your cleric levels, quite a lot of healing. Okay, so it seems like it's a flat out upgrade because obviously 3 times 8 is only 24. So the 30 will always be better. So you just get a flat upgrade, which I think it's fine. Plus healer, you regain healing. Whenever you heal someone, you get some healing as well. That's fine. 14th level for Supreme Healing opposed to 17th level, which is how it used to be, is pretty good. I think that's a pretty nice little upgrade. It looks like life domain for the most part is the same. Disciple of Life. It seems like for the most part, everything's the same. When you get things are slightly different, but the mechanically how Life Cleric works, at least in the subdomain or in the domain front, is identical. I do think getting Supreme Healing at 14th level is much nicer as most players don't get to 17th level, but I do think that most players don't get to 14th level. I think there's like a stat in 5th edition that most play occurs between like level 4 and like 11. So most players don't even make it to 14. So I don't know, maybe this edition will have support more higher level play. So their stats might skew towards a higher level play style, but we'll see. We'll see once the edition comes out and the adventures are supported, what level of play is most common. But yeah, that's everything for the cleric that is listed in this UA. Additionally, there are some new races that have been added. So if you'd like me to go over all those new races, let me know in the comments below, and I'll try to see if I can get some time this weekend maybe to go through them all and compare them to the current edition ones if they do have current edition equivalents, or just my opinions on the design as a whole. In general, I'm pretty pleased with the cleric changes. I'm really glad they moved Holy Order separate from the domain because I can see people having a heavy armored for any domain or medium armor for any domain. And I think having the ability to kind of pick your armor and get something, else out of it independent of your subclass is nice. And getting able to get 2 of them is really cool. It gives the cleric a little bit more flexibility because you can kind of fill roles easier instead of having to pick like knowledge domain. If you need to be a skill monkey or something, you can just pick scholar. or if you need a tank, you can spit protector, or if you just want to go all in on casting, thaumaturge is there too. Would have liked to see more of a change in life, but life was already one of the stronger ones and most beginner friendly. So I can see why they didn't want to mess with a formula that worked pretty well already. I wish there was more subclasses listed so we can kind of compare and contrast. And I would have really liked to see like a brand new one that hasn't been in fifth edition at all. That would have been kind of cool. But basic play testing stuff. If I was to run this in a 5th edition game, I do like these overall changes to Cleric. I think it makes it less appealing to do like a 1 level dip into Cleric. That's fine. I think making certain classes too good to multi-class into is bad for the health of the game overall. And if you have to commit, 2 levels to get your heavy armor proficiency or 3 levels if you want a subclass ability, I think that's good. I think that's fine. I'm not a fan of multi-classing too much anyways, where well, at least when you do like 3 or more classes, I think a 2-class multi-class is fine. But unless you're playing like super high level play, I think it's very odd when people like multi-class into 3 to 4 classes so they can get like a little strong features at first level from a few classes. And then, I just don't like that style of play. So I think having Cleric not be as front loaded as it was is fine. I do especially like the Channel Divinity changes with Divine Spark. I think having a heal be built into your Channel Divinity is great. I think having Channel Divinity twice automatically, and then, at second level, having the option to make it where on a short rest you regain one. So you always have a Channel Divinity for every fight potentially, or at least, every short rest. It's really good. Gives you a little bit more freedom to be a little bit more experimental with your spell usage. You don't have to worry as much, especially early game, with keeping a cure wounds or something ready to go because you can always have your channel divinity to fall back on. And I think that'll make it a little bit easier for new players. But yeah, that was my opinions on the UA for clerics. Please let me know if you would like to see more UA content like this on the channel. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. I'll see you next time.